Hi everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Cookwithchi. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe so we can grow the family. So today we'll be making Egusi soup. That soup that made the video said Choma soup tastes different. I assure you this is how she makes hers. We'll be needing some ingredients. We need our Egusi, which I mixed with water, and then for it to give us that good lump in the soup. So you can also use onions. You can blend your onions with a little bit of water and mix this. We'll also be needing our goat meat. You can use your ram, your cow meat, and any one you have. Even fish, you can use a fresh fish in making this soup. They all go well. So I've washed my meat, as you can see, and then the next thing we'll also be adding in this soup is our stock fish. This is also washed. We need our Kokomo and our shaki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well. It's called shaki and Kokomo. So we're also using this to make our soup. So these both have been washed as well. Then the Kokomo is also washed properly. You can use your salt to wash this meat, for it to be more hygienic. Then we'll be needing our dried fish. I love pounding this fish a lot. I don't know, I just love pounding it. It gives my food to the next level. It takes it to the next level. We're needing our seasoning cube. We'll be needing onions, which has been diced, our pepper, fresh pepper. If you're in this channel, you know I love pepper a lot. Then we'll be needing our dried fish, one that is not pounded, and then our smoked fish that is washed, and I took out the bones and washed it. We'll be needing red oil, of course. What's the Egusi soup without the red oil? We'll be needing red oil to this soup as well. And then Utazi seed, the pounded Utazi seed. I just wanted to level up this soup a little bit, so I pounded Utazi seed. I'll be sieving this this water and adding it to the soup. So these are all our ingredients. So tell me, what ingredients do you add to your soup or to your Egusi soup that is missing here? Is there any other thing that you do add to yours? You can tell me on the comment section. What ingredients do you add to your soup or to your Egusi soup that is not included here? It will be appreciated. So let's go ahead and begin our cooking. So first we'll be adding our goat meat, washed goat meat. You can see the liquid following it, and then we have our fresh pepper added to it. Next we'll be adding our onions, our diced onions. So we're adding our salt, our seasoning cube for taste. So these are all the meat is going to use to cook for a few minutes, before we introduce the other proteins into the pot. So after letting this cook for about 5 minutes, we open the pot. You can see it has brought out its own water. So this water, the stock water, is what we're going to be using to cook, but we'll be adding more water to it because we'll also be including our stock fish. So we need more water, but not too much water. So I poured in the water I rinsed from blending, and then I added my stock fish as well for the both of them to cook together. After adding the stock fish, we're going to allow that's the goat meat and the stock fish, to cook for a few minutes, like 5 more minutes, because our goat meat was still strong as this time. So we're going to allow them both to cook for 5 minutes more before we introduce the other ingredients to the pot. So going back to check, you can see that this has been cooking for some minutes now, and it has brought out more. It's like the water I poured in has mixed together. You could see the thickness of the stock water. So we introduced our pomo and our shaki. I actually did buy a very soft pomo because I don't like the ones that take lots of time to cook, and most times you cook them, they will still be strong while eating it. So I do make sure I select very soft pomo, so it will be easy to cook. So I added the pomo and the shaki together into the pot, and we'll give all this a good mix and still allow it to cook for extra few minutes. So after adding more water, I had to add a little bit of salt to level up the taste, and then I had leftover onions, so I added that, and then the leftover pepper I had. So I added all of this together and gave it a good stir. So when cooking any of your soup, you have to be mindful of your stock water, because that's the taste. To me, that's the taste of the soup. If your stock water is A game, if your stock water tastes good, then you know that your soup is going to taste good, because that's the base of your soup. So you have to make sure everything tastes well, or every ingredient comes out well. The pepper, the taste of the salt, everything is well balanced. So if it's not balanced before you add any other thing, you can still go ahead and level up your taste to what you want it to be. So that's what I did. So our meat and stockfish and the rest of it have been cooking for a while now. So we'll go ahead and sieve them out and proceed with our cooking. But we'll be adding them soon, like very soon. But at the moment, we need them to excuse us. We need space for our egusi to cook very well. So we'll be taking it out gradually and set it aside. We'll introduce it when necessary. So after taking out the meat and the rest of it, to be introducing our egusi to the pot. This egusi refuse to let go. The love is real. So we're adding our egusi to the pot, and we're going to allow this to cook for 5 minutes or so before adding any other thing. So checking on our egusi soup, you can see that the soup has made very good lump. The egusi has made a very good lump, and then it also has its own oil. We have not added oil to this pot. If you allow this to cook for more time, you will see it will bring out more oil at the top. So we're going to be adding our Utazi water, the pounded Utazi, and the water. I'll be adding it into the pot as well. So after adding the Utazi, we'll be going in with our red oil in a good amount. So you add the amount so you think will be okay for your soup. If you want your soup to be white, you add a little quantity. But if you want to have that rich, good look, red look, not too much oil, but good look, when that will also be evident even when you put your vegetable. So you add the quantity that you think it's okay for you. So when you add that, you give that a good stir, and you also allow this to cook for some minutes. So checking on our soup, the plate where I mixed the egusi with water, I added a little bit of water to it just to rinse the plate, and then I poured in the water into the soup to loosen it up. It was a bit thick, even though I haven't turned it. So because I knew I would be introducing our meat and the rest of it, so I needed it to loosen up a bit. So after pouring in the water, I added our meat, the goat meat, the stockfish, the Kokomo, the shaki, all of it. I added it into the pot. So I also went ahead to add our dried fish, that's the dried one, and then also added our smoked fish together. So adding all of this together, we'll stir up and then allow it to cook. So after adding all of this, I tasted the soup and it wasn't giving me the heat I wanted. So I went ahead and added a little bit of dried pepper and then the small fresh pepper I had remaining. So I added that to the pot and allow it to cook together. So I also added the red oil remaining in the plate, just scooped it and just added it instead of leaving it in the plate, you know. So I just added all of this together as remnants of what I use in cooking. So mixing all of this together, we're going to stir and then allow this to cook. So while our soup is cooking, we'll go ahead and prep our vegetable. So I'll be making use of ugu here, which is pumpkin leaf. You can use any leaf of your choice. You can use bitter leaf in making this soup as well. So be washing this leaf in order to take away the sand particles in it. You would not like to have your soup with sand taste, it's really spoils your taste bud or your appetite. So you have to make sure you wash your leaf properly. You can wash up to 3 times in order to take out the sand particles, and it's also very hygienic to wash your leaf. So some people do wash their leaf before cutting, but I had this prepped or cut in the market for me because I was cooking a bit late. So my camera did me bad. I didn't know it didn't capture where I added the dried fish and even the leaf itself. So this is after I've added the dried fish, and then I also went ahead and added our vegetable leaf, that's the ugu leaf, to the soup. So sorry for that. So you could see at this moment I've added the leaf into the pot. I've also added the dried fish as I mentioned earlier. So this is the last of it. So after adding all of that together, I stirred, and you could see how healthy and fresh the leaf is looking and how appetizing this soup is. And trust me, it tastes so good. So what would you like to eat with this soup? What's your best combo for egusi? Most persons do eat it with rice. It's a very nice choice. You can eat it with rice, or you can eat it with any swallow of your choice. You can eat it with your eba, you can eat it with your pounded yam, whatever goes well with you. Thank you so much for watching today's recipe. See you in the next video. Bye.